Babakuna ka ba? 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 Vaccination for the nation, no more isolation. With vaccination, babakuna ka ba? 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 Paturok, paturok, paturok.
To all Teleradio Bandido viewers and listeners,
you can now watch Teleradio Bandido on our new YouTube channel, RJAM News.
Hit the subscribe button and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup.
If I make it to the president, I will do just what I do.
We shall continue to assert and pursue an independent foreign policy.
I hereby declare Marawi City liberated.
All should have the vaccine, without exception.
SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. Programang tatalakay sa kapangyarihan ng serbisyo sibil. SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. Programang hihimay sa kapangyarihan ng pamalang lokal. SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. Programang maglalapit sa pamalan at mamamayan. SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. Kikilos ang barangay para sa bayan, edukasyon, kalusugan, trapiko, basura at iba pa. SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. Tatalakay sa mga problemang napapanahon, problemang hahanapan ng solusyon. At ngayon, ang inyong mga lingkod, De Leon Gomez, SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. This program is supported by the National Kidney and Transplant Institute, the Philippine Red Cross, Parenting Foundation, and the Metro Manila Council.
Magandang hapon, at ngayon ang ating panauhin ay no less than the Chairman of the Civil Service Commission, si Ginang Alice Bala. Wala pa siya ngayon sa picture pero I understand nandiyan na siya at mag-share na tayo ng screen. Pero para sa pagsisimula, babasahin ko muna yung aking ihanda na today is Friday. Let us remind ourselves to have freedom from fear, remembering that in the 70s, the clarion call was, "Huwag matakot, makibaka." Today, the message is the same, makibaka, not in terms of armed struggle, but rather fight this pandemic with greater resolve, given the Delta virus before us. Makibaka now means fighting the war on poverty, illness, and joblessness. This war we must fight is not against each other, the poor against the rich, or those who have not against those who have. We need to work together again, against all odds, to fight to lift the poor to a higher level of living. In this struggle to win this war, we need to be unstoppable. In this struggle, like the Red Cross way, and therefore, we use the public radar. So once upon a time, Issue 101, and now SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. Thank you, Alice, Chairman, for honoring us with your presence on short notice. Pero alam ko na mention naman doon na mga tatalakayin serbisyo sibil. Kaya swak na swak ang your presence on a Friday. Bakit to sinabing on a Friday? no less than the retired Chief Justice Hilarion Davide Jr. ay sent us a message sa atin, ano? Let us make this day Friday on the 23rd of July another beautiful day by giving flesh and blood to this message. Those who love the Lord are always rewarded with infinite love, mercy, and compassion. Those who fear the Lord are always bestowed with a paradise of blessings. Those who serve the Lord, are always blessed with everlasting joy and happiness. And those who hope with the Lord always achieve their vision. Those who walk with the Lord always reach their destination. Those who stand for the Lord always win the battle. And so we pray, grant us, O Lord, the grace to always joyfully and gratefully love, fear, and serve you, to hope and walk with you, and stand for you. Amen. Yan ang pang-welcome natin, Chairman Alice, at excited na ako na pag-usapan natin ang mga activities ng Civil Service Commission. Unang-una, gusto kong ipaalam sa mga nanonood, nakikinig sa atin, na you have three major agency engagement. Una, you developed your career sa DSWD, sabay tayo dyan. And ikalawa, you had the stint sa ASEAN as Undersecretary in the ASEAN, Deputy Secretary General in the ASEAN. And the third, of course, the Civil Service Commission, where you have a 7-year term and finishing in 2022. Yun ang summary ko, opening salvo. So, maybe my first question is, although later tatalakayin natin talaga ano yung mga problemang hinarap mo, pero I would like to ask you, how do you compare yung DSWD stint, yung ASEAN stint, and down Civil Service stint?
Okay. Bago ko sagutin, boss, ang dami mong ano. Maraming salamat at ako inimbita mo. Tama-tama nung tumawag si Johnny. Katatapos lang yung meeting ko naman tungkol naman sa celebration ng Parole and Probation Administration. They were celebrating their 45th anniversary today. So, syempre, boss, basta ikaw, basta free ako anytime. Ikaw pa, you're part of my public service journey. Okay.
Thank you.
Oo. Yung sabi mo, ano ang kaibahan? Una, yung DSWD, yan ang kauna-unahong trabaho sa gobyerno kasi nanggaling ako sa isang NGO run by the Good Shepherd Sisters. So I was an organizer, being a social worker. Tapos after 4 years, nag-apply ako actually boss, hindi ako nag-apply sa DSWD eh. Nag-apply ako ng training officer dun sa Social Welfare and Development for Asian Pacific Center.
SWADCAP. Our SWADCAP.
Oo. Ang nag-interview sa akin, yung si Mrs. Batoy, siya yung director ng Training and Publication Service. Ang sabi niya sa akin, Alice, hindi ka pwede dito kasi wala ka pang experience. Sabi niya. Sabi ko naman, wala naman nung nakalagay ng dapat may experience ka sa government. Ang nakalagay dyan, ang requirement, training officer. I used to be training, I did training in my previous job. But to make the story short, that was the entry point for DSWD. And ano yung kaibahan? Kasi siguro, boss, dito ko nakita yung talagang magsilbi sa taong bayan diretso. Kaya yung bang natutuwa ka na yung mga polisiya, tapos nung una, I was in charge of mga policies sa DSWD. Tapos nung bigla akong dinala sa NCR, wala akong kaalam-alam talaga sa field operations, boss. Hindi kagaya mo nang galing ka sa bureau, tapos pumunta ka sa region, and then you became USEC and then secretary. So ako, director ako ng programs and management bureau, tapos biglang pumunta ako. So parang nung una ayaw ko talaga kasi sabi ko wala akong alam dyan, lalo na pag disasters. Oo, kasi kailangan anytime 24/7. But alam mo, I think being a social worker siguro, boss, I did not have any difficulty. Of course, the first thing that I did was to observe kasi lalong-lalo na ang NCR, yan yung center eh. Parang that's the seat of government at lahat ng gustong humingi ng tulong kahit saan sila ng parte ng Pilipinas pupunta sa DSWD NCR. And then meron pa tayong mga 12 institutions. It's a national institutions for different categories. Mga bata, mga matatanda, mga kabataan, mga kababaihan, mga children with disabilities kasi yung LC Cadres Village. So napaka-challenge kasi ang dami talagang yung sakop mo. But ako at the end of the day, parang natuwa ako kasi I have seen for myself how to deal with our clients. Kasi ang isa pang kaibahan siguro ng NCR, boss, lahat yata ng klase ng disaster maranasan mo. Baha, sunog, bombing, at pati yung maraming pumupunta doon sa ating crisis intervention unit. At doon ko rin nakita kasi, boss, na imagine 500 pesos, bibigyan mo pa siya ng cheque. So sabi ko sa aking mga kasamahan nun sa NCR, 500 pesos i-cheque mo, hindi nila kagad yan ma-encash. Kailangan pa silang babalik kinabukasan. Wala na yung 500 pesos kasi yung pamasay pa ano. So ang ginawa ko, ang sabi ko, kinausap namin yung COA, pwede ba akong mag-cash advance? Maximum of 3,000 para at least when there are people who would come lang mga 500, 200 lang hinihingi, meron kaming pambigay. Pumayag naman. And this is one of the things that I'm very proud of because it was adopted by central office and it's now being implemented. Kaya tumaas na pati yung limit na nila. So yun.
Correct.
So yun yung I really felt fulfilled kasi nakita mo kagad yung impact sa mga tao. Maraming challenges, lalo na kung hindi mo pagbigyan lahat ng mga nasa posisyon, lalo na paghingi ng ang tawag nito ng ayuda sa kanilang mga constituents. There was even a time na I was being complained na hindi ko daw tinulungan, pero I have to justify to my secretary then at the time na sabi ko meron siyang gustong punduhan na daycare, so pinabilang ko yung daycare, ganito lang naman o karami and it will not even amount to 1 million, but she's asking me already. I mean that person was already asking me to sign the voucher. So sabi ko hindi pwede. And then sabi niya kagad sa akin, bakit? Kulang pa ba daw yung anak niya? Kulang pa ba daw yung binigay sa DSWD na 500,000? Sabi ko, baka akala ata niya binulsa ko yun So ang ginawa ko kagad yun, boss. I thought that was the test of also my principal is a social worker. Sabi ko sa aking budget officer, Dave, siguro kilala mo, boss, si Dave.
Yes.
Dave, hindi pa natin na nabibili yung sasakyan, di ba? Sige, gumawa ka ng cheque, soli natin yung pera. So sinulit ko talaga, nagulat sa tingin ko yung tao na yon. And nahiya siya, hindi na siya makalapit sa akin, pumunta na kay secretary noon. So that's one. But ito yung kaibahan talaga, boss. Ngayon, yung pangalawa, yung nandun ako sa ASEAN for 3 years, parang bigla akong yung bang on the spot I have to learn yung the art of diplomacy, boss. Kasi you're dealing with 10 member states. So you saw the most developed, like for example Singapore, tapos yun namang mga mga poor member countries. And then may mga kuminsan yung meron silang yung mga they wanted to dominate. Syempre pag nasa secretariat ka kasi, boss, hindi ka kasi pwedeng mag-argue, but ang sabi ko, hindi pwede ganito. kailangan mo talagang kausapin, lalong-lalo na kung ang pinag-uusapan noon yung tungkol dun sa um, isang declaration para for the protection of migrant workers in the 10 member countries. And ang host noon yung isang country na who was really very opposed to it kasi ang sabi niya, why do we need to provide the same benefits as that of our nationals?
Yes.
So ang ginawa ko, sabi ng aking director ng social welfare and development at saka yung labor sector, sabi ko hindi. Kausapin natin yung in charge diyan sa country na yan. I really took time to talk to him and explain it's not about asking more than what you're giving to your nationals, but since these people are serving your nationals, because if they're not here for you, I don't think your human resources will not be able to work completely. Because they have to take care of their children, they have to take care of the household chores. So because of the presence of the OFWs or the migrant workers in your household, it makes easier for your civil servants.
Yes.
And lo and behold, he supported.
Galing.
And then yung kanyang deputy, talaga kasi they've been very opposed to that declaration. Ang sabi niya sa akin, what did you feed my minister? Sabi ko, I did not feed anything. I just talked to him and I have to rationalize why we're pushing this. So, but of course, boss, in ASEAN kasi, it's not, the decision making is not majority rules.
Yeah.
It's consensus.
Mm-hmm. So it takes time.
Oo, it takes time. But I'm still happy because even after I left ASEAN, they were able to pass it.
Yeah.
So kaya nung napasa yon, ang DOLE at ang DFA were really happy and they said na you were part of that victory.
Yeah.
Kasi we will be the one to benefit it.
Yeah.
Oo.
Actually, negotiating skills ang pinakita ko.
Yes. Oo.
Nakita ko particularly when you have meetings which we also had in at the time in UNESCAP, in among other organizations, talagang hindi ka pwedeng magbiyayabang ka kasi depende kung sino yung mga kausap. Talagang ang skill mo is really tama ka diplomatist ang tawag natin doon, no? Pero I thought and I want to honor you for that because you're the first na social worker to be able to handle that high post in Jakarta. And of course ako, gustong-gusto ko yung Jakarta dahil pag ang sarap magpamasahe doon at mga herbs na ginagamit na dami kong natutunan doon sa Jakarta. And I remember, I want to share also sa mga nanonood sa atin na when I chaired the conference, when I was president of the International Federation of Social Workers for the Asian region, ay nakita ko na ang mga tao sa conference gusto magsa-shopping, pati yung mga delegates ng Pilipinas. Kaya sabi ko, I again use the strategy, nag-innovate ako. Sabi ko, okay, after lunch, you take a rest and do shopping until 4 o'clock. You know why? Because the shops close at 5. So, kailangan maka-shopping na sila kasi magagalit sa'yo. Dahil hindi sila lalo na yung mga Filipinong delegates. Dahil mahalaga sa kanila ang shopping. Sasabihin daw, wala silang pera, pero pag shopping, may pera sila, no? So, ganun ang ginawa ko. So, we will reconvene at 5 o'clock. Sarado na ang shop. And so, we had all the time up to 8 o'clock to discuss the issue. So, I remember that experience talaga noon na nakita kong yung negotiating skills really made a difference. Moving forward, ang nakita ko, Alice, that it was really a blessing that the social worker became, again, magkasunod tayo, although we had a gap in the terms, no? When you became, gusto ko din walk us through sa opportunity that you had to become civil service chair. Then I will also share my own story, how I became chairman of the civil service. Parang this afternoon is really storytelling for us. Dahil I want the people to know that we don't just get a position for just a position, but there is a reason, a rhyme and reason for that. So why don't you tell us your story for the civil service commission post? Sige.
Okay. Thank you, boss. Actually, hindi ako nag-apply, boss, dito sa position na ito. And I think and in most of the positions where I was appointed to, I never applied. Even this, yung Deputy Secretary General for ASEAN, kasi marami naman kami nag-attend ng mga agency representatives pag ASEAN meeting. I just got this invitation from DFA that they have chosen me. So yun yung and that's the story behind it. But anyway, I was still in ASEAN, boss, because my stint started in 2012 and my term ended in 2015 September.
3 years.
Oo, 3 years. Ngayon, nung patapos na yung term ko, I think it's probably about July or August, I was in a meeting in Brunei, a ministerial meeting in Brunei. And then I received a call from Secretary Dinky. Ang sabi niya sa akin, Alice, you have been identified as one of the nominees for the vacant position of chairperson of secretary of the chairperson of the civil service, kasi tapos na yung term ni Chair Duque nung pang February, wala pa silang na-appoint. So, sabi niya, ang nag-mention ang pangalan mo ay ang presidente. Sabi ko kay boss, sabi ko, paano ko niya ako nakilala? Hindi naman ako, alam mo yun, pareho tayo, I'm not a political person. So sabi ko, siguro yung mga instances, pag di ba boss, pag wala ang secretary, niro-rotate niyo ang mga USEC na maging OIC. Tapos, 2 o 3 beses lang naman akong nakausap niya. Ng OIC pag merong meeting. Tapos, nakikita ko siya pag nag-attend siya doon sa ASEAN meeting ng mga ASEAN heads of state. So, sabi ko, bakit ako? Hindi ko rin alam. Basta nabanggit ka daw Kasi siya daw nagsabi na alala daw niya merong USEC si Secretary ng DSWD na-meet niya sa Malacanang, tapos nakita daw kami sa Jakarta, sa ASEAN meeting. So, ang sabi ko lang kay Secretary Dinky, boss, alam mo na, ang Secretary, alam mo naman ang aking term up to September pa. And then, syempre, kailangan din magbakasyon ako, parang to give my time, parang for reintegration. Kasi after 3 years, marami nang nangyayari sa Pilipinas, tsaka sa DSWD. Sabi niya, okay lang yon. Alam naman nila, sinabi ko naman na September pa matatapos. So anyway, sabi niya, magpadala ka lang ng iyong biodata at saka kailangan sa listahan kasi may isa ka doon sa mga na
identify.
Oo. So to make the story short, after nung patapos na yung term ko at nakabalik na ako sa Pilipinas, I got this notice from the Office of the Civil Service Commission at sabi na I was appointed and so you submit all the documents. Oo, kaya lang dahil 'di ba merong yung CDJ sa legislative, dahil hindi ako nasalang sa Commission on Appointments. And at that time the session was ongoing and you cannot be reporting unless you are confirmed. So nung nag-recess, again I received from civil service that I was reappointed. And I can already report kasi I can report kasi naka-adjourn naman ang legislative body. So nag-report ako October 12. So yung tanong mo, anong kaibahan? Etong kaibahan naman ng civil service, ang stakeholders are the agencies and the civil servants.
Yes.
So it becomes broader in terms of the influence of the Civil Service Commission, because I think you know very well that we are the ones in charge of issuing policies when it comes to human resource management actions, including appointments, taking care what it means that we perform quasi-judicial functions, and at the same time yung mga appointments, attestation, validation, invalidation, approval, disapproval. So ang challenge ko syempre, being a social worker, wala naman tayong background post ng law, di ba? Except dahil yung ating mga cases noon sa DSWD, mga children in conflict with the law, adoption, yung mga foster care, and then yung annulment of marriage. So yung mga ganun lang yung aking
social character.
So yung aking exposure pagdating sa past ay tungkol dyan sa mga related sa ating function. So I had to really depend on my team, and I'm glad that yung aking legal team sa aking opisina are really very sharp and very good. They have different experiences, private sector, and the other one from CSC, and then the other one is from DepEd. So mga legal sila. So it gives me some and then the difference of course is that in terms of decision making, the chairperson does not make the decision by herself. It's a commission, it's a collegial body. But there are certain decisions that the chair can do, and these are for administrative. So yung mga ganon. So I think that's the big difference. Difference when you are in a commission and then being a constitutional body. But I'm enjoying. But there are a number of challenges. I think you've gone through the same experience that I have, considering that both of us did not come from the ranks. And we have to learn instantly what are the dynamics of the people around, and then the dynamics of how to interact with the different agencies, because you're now talking to the agencies, not only the national agencies or government agencies, executive, state universities, local government units, and then government-owned or controlled corporations with original charters. So it makes a lot of difference. Kasi tayo ang kausap lang natin dati, mga national government agencies and local government units. But we never dealt with GOCCs or even state universities and colleges. So yun yung difference, boss. So
Ako
yun
naman,
yung aking journey.
my story, total sharing din tayo. So the people will know how did we get to be in that position. In my case, I was of OIC, acting secretary rather, of President Ramos in 1992. No? Kasi, di ba, he will finish his term 6 years siya until 1998. But I got a call from Patrick Tomas in 1994. Ano pa yon, no? Kasi, 1993, sabi niya sa akin, Ora, baka hindi ka ma-appoint na secretary ng DSWD kasi marami nag-iintay na political na gusto maging secretary ng DSWD. Sabi niya, I will finish my term 1995, sabi niya. So that means that was 93, may 2 years pa, no? So sabi ko sa kanya, I want you to be to take over after me kasi alam mo na yung how the bureaucracy work, sabi niya, tapos ano ka pa, social worker ka pa, you will be a caring person sa bureaucracy. Sabi ko sa kanya, call. And tamang-tama, that November, kasi naging chairman ako ng mga Pinatubo Commission, 1993 to 95. So, during that stint, na-confirm naman ako, 1993, sabay kami ni Yusek Lina Laigo, na ginawang secretary. Kaya maganda itong makwento tayo kasi parang history to, no? And then, what I did in a conference of social workers, katabi ko si Presidente Ramos. Sabi ko, sir, sabi ko ganun, I understand Pat Santo Tomas is leaving the Civil Service Commission in 1995. February. Alam mo, sabi ko, I want the job. Sabi ko ganun kay Presidente ka. Oh, it was that, and then beyond that, that was like November. In January, I wrote him a letter. Sabi ko, Mr. President, these are the reasons why I want to be chairman of the Civil Service Commission. First, I want to humanize the bureaucracy, I want to professionalize the bureaucracy, and I want to energize the bureaucracy. Kaya ang team namin nung towards a world-class bureaucracy dahil I was a centennial chair. Kaya mahalagang i-contextualize yun, no? And so, we were March of 1995, the vacant na ng February, para di Secretary Duque, vacant na, wala pa na-appoint. We were in Copenhagen for the World Conference on Social Development. Tapos, si Secretary Blas Ople, tinawag ako, sabi niya, Cora, you were already appointed chairman of the Civil Service Commission. Sa dyaryo ko lang nalaman nung na-appointed na ako. We were there, for that conference, I think, around February or something like that. So pagbalik, nag-oath na ako sa Copenhagen to become chair, no? Pero sabi ko, syempre, fake yun dahil parang picture lang yun eh. So in Malacanang, by March, I was already confirmed. I mean, not confirmed, but appointed. Both, we must explain to the people na yung both positions need to be confirmed by the Commission on Appointments.
Yeah.
In my case, sa DSWD, nung ma-confirm ako, I think it was like November of 1993, it was Secretary Ponce Enrile, Senator Ponce Enrile, who was the chair for my DSWD appointment. And without any question, I hereby confirm the appointment of Corazon Alma de Leon as Secretary of DSWD. Walang question whatsoever. Kaya sabi ko, napakaswerte ko na, sabi ko nga, because I didn't have to struggle, no? And the same vein naman, when it was the time nung 1995 na, when I was going to start as a civil service chair, Senator Blas Ople naman ang nag-blast sa akin. Kumbaga, why did I call it? He was the only one asking questions sa akin for an hour and a half. No, he was the only one. You know why? Because kilalang niya si Pat Santo Tomas, and ang feeling niya, I have to prove myself na I am equal to Pat Santo Tomas. And tama naman, no, sabi ko, because I don't want to be appointed because lang I was recommended, but rather that I deserve to be appointed. And everything was easy. And to me, I'm telling you, my best days were really with the Civil Service Commission because of the depth and breadth of the work of civil service. Because you can influence the bureaucracy to be better. So I think we can continue na yung how do you make the civil service bureaucracy better. Kasi nakita ko that, again, during my time, there was this mamamayan muna, hindi mamayan na. And it was already, to my mind, internalized na. But you had one distinct achievement, and that is the ARTA. Yung yung collaboration ninyo with the other fiscal autonomy group. Maybe you need to tell that story. Kasi yun nga yung hinahanap ng tao. Kasi may poster na against red tape. Isa yun sa napaka-importanting milestone ng mga fiscal autonomy groups that you were able to shepherd during your time. At ngayon, nakikita natin ang possibilities. Pero may mga problema pa rin na siguro latter part of our discussion, pag-uusapan pa rin natin ano yung mga nagiging problema sa civil service despite or in spite the ARTA.
Okay. Salamat, boss, at natutuwa ako at napakinggan ko ulit yung iyong journey din as civil service chair. Yung anti-red tape act, ito ay talagang ang Civil Service Commission, even before I joined, that was already implemented. Kasi the law was passed in 2017. And I think we made the milestone sa lahat kasi nga ang maganda nito, because of the report card survey, there was a survey across the different agencies nationwide, and we published the results of the report card survey. So ipinakita doon sino yung pasado at sino yung mga hindi. And I think that made the difference for some agencies to improve on how best they can improve their service delivery. And then meron din tayo yung contact center ng bayan. Ito yung sumbungan ng bayan. So itong contact center ng bayan, ang maganda rin na features na ito, it's not about just receiving complaints, but this is also a mechanism to receive praises or commendations of people who have been helping the public when it comes to their services. So I think yung contact center ng bayan, it gives them that, for the agencies to be on their toes. Kasi nga, sinusalatan namin talaga sila, and then pag nagre-report ng presidente, kasama doon talaga, boss. And even during the time when under this new administration, and I think this is where we also made a difference, kasi even the first time na nagsalita ng ating Pangulo, sabi niya na gusto niyang palakasin yung laban kontra corruption at saka yung red tape. At ang sabi niya, ang gusto ko dapat merong call center or merong isang dedicated facility na magtanggap ng mga complaints ng mga tao sa opisina ko, sabi niya. So nung narinig ko yon, sabi ko dun sa aming in charge ng contact center, gayahin natin yung yung gusto ng presidente. Why don't we convert our contact center ng bayan instead na 8 hours? Siguro let's start with 24 hours or 12, or yung gawin nating 12 hours a day. So, lo and behold, before we could even implement it, we were already called. There was a delegation from the office of the president telling us na when they talked to some telco companies, I think it was PLDT, it was one of them who shared na, why don't you use the Civil Service Commission as your area, as the agency that would initially implement yung hotline 888 ng Pangulo. So sabi namin, ano yung expectations nyo? Kasi ang aming lang tao dito ay
small group.
At ako sabi nila, hindi, we will support you on this, blah, blah, blah. So, in short, yung aming plano lang na gayahin, na i-convert natin yung contact center ng bayan, boss, kami yung ginawa for 1 year and 6 months. We were the ones who was running yung hotline 888 ng ating Pangulo. And I think they were very happy about the way we managed it, kasi every year until now and until this last persona of the president, they requested us to submit to them the compliance rate of agencies and the most complained agencies in the bureaucracy. And parating yung kasama sa kanyang State of the Nation address. And we are very proud of that dahil I think the agencies became more aware of their responsibilities to improve their service delivery. And then because of that 10-year, I can say it was successful implementation of the first Anti-Red Tape Act law. In 2018, there is a new law that amended it. Ito yung Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service Delivery Act. And there was an Anti-Red Tape Authority that was created, and there's also a council. While we are not we're not a part of the ARTA or a council, but in the law, we were given the task given to us is one. We, based on the results of the report card survey that will be initiated by the ARTA, the Anti-Red Tape Authority, the results will be used for the development of policies for human resource management and also how to improve service delivery. And then second is we are tasked to hear and to be the one in charge of all complaints related to that law. And we're happy that this, I think it was towards the end of the year or early this year when DBM approved the creation of, because under the law, we have to create anti-red tape unit in all the regional offices and an anti-red tape division in central office. And they, DBM approved the request because, as I've said, it's based on the law. So we are now finalizing the functions of these positions so that we can already start the recruitment of these positions to attend to this. So yun yung boss, and hopefully, and one of the requirements also of this law is the automation of the systems and the processes. And then kung natatandaan nyo, dahil dun sa ARTA, yung Citizens Charter, di ba? We were the one. This is one of the good governance requirements ng lahat ng agencies for them to get the performance bonus annually. So we are still the ones in charge of the checking of the charter, Citizens Charter. And they have to align it with the new law because the requirements is the limitation of the number of signatories and then automation of services, etc. So hopefully, of course, I think you and I been in government for more than 40 years. Eliminating corruption and anti-red tape is really not just a role of one or two agencies, but it's a collective actions of government agencies, including the public and also the private sector. Kasi nga, they also avail of the services from government agencies when it comes to business permits, licenses, and all that stuff. So, and I'm happy that I think because of the new law, the ARTA is making stride in ensuring that government agencies would be, especially in the local government units, to put up one-stop shop, especially for business. So, yun yung kagandahan ngayon, boss.
Ang nakita ko, no, first of all, during our time, merong fiscal autonomy group that meets regularly. Ito yung Supreme Court, yung mga kasama sa Civil Service Commission ko. And we would be able to exchange. In fact, na-mention mo yung productivity incentive bonus. That was during my time na hindi pa ako civil service but DSWD attending the cabinet meeting. And pero ang nangyari, I don't want to say na prostitute, pero everybody gets the PIB. Pero dapat yun talaga yung performance. But I won't even dwell on that. Ang nakita ko, merong reality na kino-complain talaga. There are numbers of the departments. I'm not referring to CSC, pero walang sumasagot sa telepono. Yung parang supposedly, to my mind, dapat may hotline talaga, dedicated hotline. At kung hindi sumasagot yung agency, there is a super body like civil service or no na pwedeng tawagan siya. Tumatawag ko kami sa DepEd, wala akong sumasagot sa 5 numbers na tinry namin. That's really happening because it happened to me na I'm not referring to DepEd, pero I'm saying that in agencies that you want to contact, may problema pa. Whether that's a problem of technology, na yung telepono ay not working, dahil puro cellphone. But still and all, para sa akin, a hotline, like what we do in the Red Cross, may hotline na kailangan may sasagot 24 hours. Kasi yon lalo na kung ang pangangailangan ay malalim, no? And I can think of that in the context of yung follow-up. Kasi in the case of CSC, follow-up on cases. Kasi hindi lang CSC, you know, we have bring to our attention isang kaso ng isang doktora sa PRC, Professional Regulations Commission. Nakausap ko yung lawyer. Sabi ko, bakit ang tagal-tagal? Alam mo, 10 years na yung kaso. Kaya nga sabi ko, kung ayaw sagutin ng PRC, I will ask civil service to look into that. What is the problem? Kasi you're overall ng mga agencies na yon. Ang tanong ngayon kanino dudulog ang mga taong kumbaga I don't mean na pinagsasamantalahan, pero unable to get the service that they deserve. Kaya yung SOS namin, SOS Ora-Mismo, Sigurado, the objective is to ferret out yung mga namomroblemang hindi makarating sa agency. Of course, ang sinimulan namin sa SSS, yung mga maraming concern sa SSS, pero nakita ko na mahalagang matulungan sila, not to put them down, but to raise the level ng kanilang performance. At nakikita kong it's really possible, kaya yung honoring the heroes, magitan ng hindi lang complaints, but yung nagsasabi ng magandang balita na nangyari sa kanilang ahensya. Kasi I remember noon, si Judy Abdasa was telling me nung chairman ako, Cora, ang galing-galing ng LTO. Sabi niya gano'n, you don't have to wait so long. In an hour, you can get your license. Pero ngayon, ang complaint, hanggang ngayon wala pang plates ang LTO. Ilang taon na. Tapos, kinocomplain yung naging consultant namin na si Ernie Lim, no? Sabi niya, ano ba yun? Ang tagal-tagal. At ngayon, ang isa pang problema, para makapag-aral mag-drive, matutong mag-drive, kailangan mag-aral sa driving school. So, I don't think that should be correct. Kasi pwede namang turuan yung rudiment, pero yung pag-exam, tama, kailangan may examination. So, isa pa rin yun na parang unfair na magbabayad ng malaking halaga para lang masuportahan yung driving school na ang laki ng hinihingi. I think 13,000. Kaya nalaman ko yung problema. Teka, sino makakapag-solve ng problem? So basically, sa akin palagay, in the next 15 minutes, tingnan natin kung ano pa yung mga problema na hinaharap, not just ng civil service, na pero problema ng nakararami na may key ang civil service to attend to that. And naniniwala ako talaga, like for instance, sa akin, hindi acceptable na sa PRC, I tried to talk to the chairman, hindi ni-return ng call ko nung kanina, natakot siguro yung secretary. Sabi ko, ano lang naman, gusto lang malaman yung kaso na yon, bakit it took 10 years. So sabi ko, in that case, dahil hindi kami sinasagot dito sa radyo, I will inform the civil service kasi you have the clout to be able to check on that. Unfair talaga dun sa taong may kaso. I had a similar experience, kaya kukwento ko ito. Merong isang mother of a friend of my sister, every year umuwi para follow up the case sa Supreme Court. Alam mo, isa pa rin yung maraming matagal bago makakuha ng decision sa Supreme Court. You know what I did? I wrote Chief Justice Davide, kaya he became truly a friend. Sabi ko, may I request for early resolution of the case? Dahil matanda na itong gagaling pa sa Amerika, uuwi para lang to follow up. Early resolution was the only thing that I wrote in that letter. Ano pa ako? Chairman pa ako ng civil service. Alam mo, sinagot niya at dinesisyon na nila. Yung matanda, after that, namatay na. Bakit? Natapos na yung kanyang pina-follow up. And I thought that she died happy because something happened na she didn't have, parang na-clear ang mind niya. And I wish mga tao sa atin na nanonood, nakikinig, will realize how important the Civil Service Commission is. Pero pag hindi alam ng CSC, you cannot attend to it dahil hindi nyo naman alam na may ganong klaseng problema. Kaya yung openness na paano nila makakausap, I think yung access, kaya yung 3 words na, by the way, I use that kay yung USEC ng DSWD, si Ruel Lucentales, ay ginamit nyo sa isang paper yung 3 words, sabi niya, 3 A's sa ating agency: accessibility, answerability, and accountability. I have defined that yung 3 A's na yon, in any government office kailangan accessible. Alam niyo ba kung saan ang opisina? Natatawa ako, sabi ko, saan ba yung opisina sa Quezon City ng PhilHealth? Nobody knows. Yung pala bandang kabila ng hindi pala sa malapit sa Quezon City Circle. Hindi pala. People don't know kung saan ang opisina. So again, publicly announcing kung saan ang mga officers where they can go is another matter, no? Ikalawa, ang nakita ko is that tama yung ginagawa ninyo na monitoring kasi I heard na you're reviewing the cases and then the rest are just done by the legal, ano? Yun na lang mga cases. But isang realidad that you still have to face, dadalawa lang kayo. Hindi pa na-fill up yung isang ano. I will not dwell on that anymore because that's the president's problem. Hopefully, he can appoint somebody before he leaves. Dahil medyo malaki na yung pinagdaan na 2019 na dapat may na-appoint na ng February. Wala pang na-appoint. February 21 na tayo, magiging 22. But as I said, I will not dwell on that. Sa atin na lang for the next 10 minutes, ano yung first of all, ano pa yung unfinished business mo sa yung palagay na you still want to do something before you leave? And number 2, what is your own plan, career plan after CSC? Yan, medyo ano yan, thought-provoking.
Yes.
Which is my style of interview. Sige, go ahead.
Maraming salamat, boss. At yung mga sinabi mo, alam ko, malaking challenge ng buong birokrasya. So meron kaming programa na sinusulong. Ito yung the civil service modernization.
Yes.
Kasi sa ngayon, while the law provides for the automation and at the same time, because of COVID-19 pandemic, all government agencies were affected. The transitioning from physical to virtual, this is really something different.
Yeah.
Oo. In fact, in the case, for example, in the civil service, if the quarantine declaration was in March 19.
Yeah.
But the first time that we had our first commission meeting virtually, it took some time, siguro mga 3 months after, to prepare all the systems in place to ensure that everybody will be able to enter the meeting room. We have to be trained, upskilling, no? And nakita rin natin yung how do you make agencies to become more agile in light of this mga developments, unprecedented events like the pandemic. We never had any experience before. Ang sabi ko nga noon, yung ating mga experience ng disasters is localized. Okay? Oo. So, pero ito, buong Pilipinas.
Yes,
Lahat ng dulo ng Pilipinas na apektuhan. Kaya, we started this and we have already conducted mga focus group discussions. I would have wanted to start it during my term, but because they're not, you just have to also deal with the NEDA, the investment a committee which is comprised of DBM, DOF, and NEDA, and so therefore it took some time, and we are still in the process now of reassessing the documents for submission for appreciation and evaluation of NEDA. So yun yung aking talagang I would have really wanted it to be completed, but since this would have been the first time that civil service will be engaging a development partner in this is World Bank, so their experience has not been there.
Yeah.
Ako, while I was telling them when they were preparing the proposal, ganito yon, ganyan, but you see, it takes some time also to sink into them ano yung mga requirements, kasi sabi nila ito kasi sinabi ng consultant. Sabi ko, well, ako, I must tell you, I was the one in charge of the reform program of DSWD dealing with different development partners, and these are the basic that need to be done.
Yeah.
Ang sabi ko, maliban na lang kung pinalitan ng NEDA ang mga requirements, but it was really a journey for them to realize that what I've been telling them was still confirmed by NEDA. But I did not take it against them because, as I've said, they never had this opportunity. So sabi ko, it takes some time before they also learn in the process, which we have done that also, boss, in DSWD. So that's my thing that I would have wanted, but I know that hopefully those who will be left behind will pursue it. Okay? And then ang tanong mo ngayon sa akin, ano naman yung career
Future.
plan ko after CSC? Ako sabi ko, naalala ko nung I was still a training officer sa DSWD. Every 5 years, we have this 5-year plan.
Yeah.
And yung aking last na plan, bago ako mag-retire is to be in international organization. Wala sa radar ko ang maging chairperson ng civil service. Sabi ko din, nung I was taking up my master's degree sa UP Post, di ba may cognate?
Yes.
There were 2 cognates na, kasi sabi ko, I really love HR and I also want to teach. Okay? So, ang kinuha ko talaga na cognate. Nun, personal management.
Yeah.
And then the second one is college teaching. O, di ba? So, and that was 1998 pa yun. So, yun yung hindi ko na So, sabi ko, one possible is to teach. And the second one is to be a volunteer.
Yeah.
I want to be, to volunteer. Kasi parang ang dami pang pwede natin lalo na volunteer siguro sa DSWD. Kasi marami na kasing bago doon at marami ng mga alis na halos lahat po, kunti na yung mga taga DSWD ng mga social workers. So, yun yung yun yung aking in the near future. But after, of course, sabi ko, I will have a long vacation first. Kasi since graduating, I graduated from college, I started working up to now. And I think for everyone to know, I'm already 69 years old. And I'm still working, but I love it. I mean, it's really a life journey, and I really thank God for all the opportunities that I never dreamt of. Naalala ko pa noon, nung bago ako pumunta ng ASEAN, boss, if I may share as a last. Then Yusek E called me up, and she said, at that time, I was already asking for a sign whether to accept yung post, sabi niya. And then, all of a sudden, she called me up and she said, Alice, I want you to apply for that position at the UN Committee for Children. Yung child rights, sabi niya. Kasi, ako pa lang ang na-appoint doon, wala nang sumunod na social worker at wala na rin coming from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Sabi ko naman sa kanya, I think you are the sign. You are the sign. Mrs. E, kasi I was asking for a sign na kung tatanggapin ko yung sa ASEAN, sabi niya sa akin, hindi, pumunta ka na sa UN, mas malaki yon kasi global yan. Ako naman, ang sabi ko sa kanya, Mrs. E, iba kasi nung panahon nyo you were already exposed to international events and all that stuff. Ako, kailangan magsimula muna ako dito sa ASEAN. At saka sabi ko, wala pang taga DSWD at social worker na pumunta. So, I will make also a name there. So, yun yung So,
yes.
So, hopefully, I will be able to once I'm settled, then I can be a volunteer and I can also teach in social work if opportunities will be there. But in the meantime, sabi ko nga, boss, siguro mga 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, siguro I'll make my grand vacation even at home or going to the province.
Yes.
It's like reconnecting with the community.
Yeah.
Diba?
Great. Well, I was asked by the staff na final words na daw. Ang sa akin, ang final words is that I learned that, I shared that with some of you earlier on, na in 1966, I think we were in Washington, D.C., yung Commissioner on Health and Welfare. Kasi doon, Commissioner Health and Welfare. Ang sabi niya, dream big dreams. For the dreams of today will be realities of tomorrow. Kaya gusto ko ngayon, mag-isip ka na, ano yung panaginip mo na gusto mong mangyari. And I promise you it's going to happen because I believe I walk the path and it can happen. Kaya thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. And I assure you, I give you my also blessings, congratulations for the work that you have done against all odds with the pandemic. And you are living now, there is still a pandemic. Pero ako, I'm a survivor of the pandemic. You know, I was sick for 21 days at PGH. And as a result of that, ngayon ay member ako ng Friends of PGH dahil gusto kong makatulong sa PGH. Kaya on that note, I'm so happy you want to volunteer. I'm so happy you want to teach because that's a path I do. Congratulations, Alice. And of course, regards to your family because I know your husband and your children. Tell them that I love your family. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat, boss, at maraming salamat. As I've said earlier, you are part of my journey in the public service. Parang without knowing it, we took the same path, ending at Civil Service Commission. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for this opportunity at maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga nakikinig at nakapanood dito sa programa mo. Serbisyo talaga. Hanggang kailan I'm one of your fans, boss, kasi at your age and you're still very active. Sabi ko nga sa inyo no, after you were discharged from the hospital, sabi ko hinay-hinay ka. And sabi mo nga sa akin, mamamatay ako.
Yeah. August 6, I will be 80 years old, and that's the feast of the Transfiguration.
Wow.
Kaya I expect to be transfigured. Kaya no. So thank you very much again, and of course, thank you to the staff of DZRJ. Thank you for helping us weather this particular storm, this particular program. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, boss. Thank you.
Goodbye.